Parents, what do your kids think they're hiding from you? When my 16-year-old daughter, Emma, started acting weird around dinner time, I knew something was up. She'd push her food around her plate, constantly check her phone under the table, and rush to her room the second she finished eating. As a single dad, I tried not to hover, but my gut told me this wasn't just normal teenage stuff. One night, I noticed $40 missing from my wallet. Then another $60 the next week. Emma had never stolen before, so I decided to check her room while she was at school. Behind her dresser, I found crumpled McDonald's bags and empty chip packets. Under her bed were grocery store receipts for microwave meals and candy bars. My heart sank when I realized what was happening. Every receipt was timestamped between 2 to 3 a.m. My daughter was waiting until I fell asleep to sneak out and buy food. I remembered how her mom struggled with eating disorders before she passed away 5 years ago. The same secretive behavior, the same hidden food wrappers. I couldn't let Emma go down that path. Instead of confronting her, I started leaving my home office door open at night, pretending to work late. 3 nights later, I heard her bedroom window slide open at 1:47 a.m. Through my window, I watched her climb down the oak tree beside her room. She'd clearly done this many times before. I followed her in my car, keeping my distance. She walked to the 24-hour grocery store 6 blocks away. Through the store window, I saw her fill a basket with microwavable mac and cheese, cookies, and frozen pizzas. She paid with crumpled bills from her pocket. My missing money. Instead of going home, she walked to the park and sat on a bench under a streetlight. She ate an entire box of cookies while scrolling through her phone, tears running down her face. I approached slowly, not wanting to scare her. "Room for one more?" She jumped, trying to hide the evidence. "Dad, I can explain." "You don't have to," I said, sitting beside her. "I know you've been sneaking out to eat." "What I don't know is why," Emma broke down. Between sobs, she told me about the girls at school who called her fat. How her boyfriend dumped her for a skinnier girl. How she started skipping lunch and dinner, but got so hungry at night, she couldn't stand it. "I'm trying to be perfect like Mom was," she whispered. My chest tightened. "Emma, your mom wasn't perfect. She struggled with food too. Those pictures you see of her, that wasn't healthy. She was sick." "What?" "But you never told me, because I didn't want to taint your memories of her. But she wouldn't want this for you. The night before she died, she made me promise to keep you from making her mistakes." Emma stared at her half-eaten cookies. "I don't know how to stop." "We'll figure it out together," I said. "But first, no more climbing trees at 2 a.m. You're giving your old man heart attacks." She managed a small laugh. "You knew about that, kiddo? I was a teenager once too. Though I usually use the garage roof, not a tree." The next day, I scheduled her first therapy appointment. That night, when I heard her crying in her room, I knocked on her door with 2 bowls of ice cream. "Midnight snack," I offered. "We can talk about Mom, the real her, not the perfect version you've built up." 6 months later, Emma's doing better. She's seeing a therapist twice a week, and we have a new rule. No locked doors during meals. Sometimes she still struggles, but now she comes to me instead of sneaking out. Last week, she left a note on my desk. "Thanks for catching me before I fell too far. Love, Emma." Underneath was 100 cash. All the money she'd stolen, saved from her new part-time job. I put the money in a college fund I started for her. She doesn't know about it yet. When my 16-year-old daughter, Emma, started acting strange around dinner time, I couldn't quite put my finger on it, but something felt off. She'd poke at her food without really eating it, her fork scraping softly against the plate. Sometimes she'd take a few bites, then push her chair back and mumble something about homework. Other times, she'd spend half the meal glancing at her phone under the table, the blue glow lighting her face while she thought I wasn't paying attention. As a single dad, I'd learned to give her space. After her mom passed away 5 years ago, I'd promised myself not to smother her. But lately, that instinct, that gut feeling only a parent knows, kept whispering that something wasn't right. Then one morning, while grabbing my wallet before work, I noticed $40 missing. I shrugged it off. Maybe I'd forgotten I spent it. But when 60 more disappeared a week later, I knew I hadn't imagined it. Emma had never lied to me, let alone stolen from me. The thought made my stomach twist. The next afternoon, while she was at school, I sat in her room for the first time in months. Her bed was neatly made, books stacked in careful piles, her desk covered with notebooks and pens. Everything looked normal, until I moved her dresser. Behind it were crumpled McDonald's bags and empty chip wrappers. My heart started pounding. Under her bed, I found grocery store receipts, microwave meals, candy bars, cookies, all purchased between 2 and 3 a.m. That's when it hit me. She wasn't just skipping meals, she was sneaking out at night to eat. Suddenly, I was back in the past, watching her mother, pale and trembling, hiding her own food wrappers in the laundry hamper. I could still hear her promising she'd eat later. She never did. And she'd promised me, right before she died, that I'd protect Emma from ever walking that same dark road. That night, I didn't confront Emma. Instead, I left my office door open, pretending to work late. Around 1:47 a.m., I heard the faint creak of her bedroom window. My heart raced. Through the blinds, I watched her climb down the oak tree outside her window, moving carefully like someone who'd practiced many times before. I slipped into my car and followed her at a distance. Headlights off, she walked 6 blocks through the quiet streets to the 24-hour grocery store. Inside, I watched through the glass as she filled a basket. Mac and cheese cups, frozen pizzas, cookies, candy bars. She paid with crumpled bills, my missing money, and left. But instead of coming home, she turned towards the park. She sat alone on a bench under a flickering streetlight, her breath visible in the cool night air. Slowly, she tore open a box of cookies and started eating. Not like someone enjoying a treat, but like someone starving. Tears streaked her cheeks as she scrolled through her phone. That sight broke me. I got out of the car and walked over quietly. "Room for one more?" I asked gently. She jumped, shoving the box onto the bench. "Dad, I can explain." "You don't have to," I said softly, sitting beside her. "I know you've been sneaking out. What I don't know is why." For a moment, she said nothing. Then the dam broke. She started crying, deep, shaking sobs that echoed through the park. "They call me fat at school," she choked out. "The girls in gym class laugh when I change. And Josh, he dumped me for some skinny cheerleader. I thought if I stopped eating, I'd lose weight. But then I get so hungry I can't stop. I hate myself for it. I just wanted to be perfect. Like Mom was." Her words hit me like a punch. "Emma," I said, my throat tightening. "Your mom wasn't perfect. She struggled too." She blinked. "What do you mean?" "The pictures you've seen. Her smiling, thin, flawless. That wasn't health. That was sickness. She was sick, sweetheart." Her eyes widened. "But you never told me." "I didn't want to change how you remembered her," I said quietly. "But she wouldn't want this for you. The night before she died, she made me promise to keep you from making her mistakes." Emma looked down at her half-eaten cookies, silent. "I don't know how to stop, Dad." I put my arm around her shoulders. "We'll figure it out together. But first, no more climbing trees at 2 in the morning, okay? You're giving your old man gray hairs." That made her laugh through the tears. "You knew about that?" "Of course I did. I was a teenager once too. Though I used the garage roof, not a tree." She laughed again, soft, real. For the first time in months, I saw my little girl again. The next day, I called a therapist who specialized in eating disorders. I was terrified she'd refuse, but when I explained everything, she nodded quietly and said, "Maybe it's time." That night, I heard her crying softly in her room. I knocked and peeked in, holding 2 bowls of ice cream. "Midnight snack," I said. "We can talk about Mom, the real her. Not the perfect version you've built up." She smiled weakly. "You're weird, Dad." "Yeah," I said. "But I'm your weird dad." 6 months passed. Therapy wasn't magic. It was slow and messy. Some days were good, others hard. There were still tears, still moments when she pushed her plate away. But now she talked to me. We made new rules. No locked doors during meals, and honesty over perfection. Sometimes she'd come to my office late at night, curl up on the couch, and just talk. About school, about missing her mom, about hating herself a little less every day. Then one afternoon, I found a folded note on my desk. "Thanks for catching me before I fell too far. Love, Emma." Underneath it was a stack of bills, $100. All the money she'd taken from me. I stared at it for a long time before tucking it into an envelope labeled college fund. She doesn't know about it yet. But one day, when she's ready to chase her dreams, I'll tell her it started with a promise. A promise her mother made, a promise I kept, and a daughter who finally let me catch her before she broke. Story. To my girlfriend posted, "Real men don't question their queens." After I found men's cologne in our bathroom, I liked it and commented, "Real queens don't need secret kings." Then I tagged the cologne owner's girlfriend in the post. The comment section became a war zone, and her kingdom crumbled. I, 27 male, was cleaning our bathroom last Thursday when I found it. Tom Ford wood cologne tucked behind the toilet cleaner under the sink. Problem is, I wear Dior Sage exclusively, and this definitely wasn't mine. I stood there holding the bottle for like 5 minutes. My girlfriend Kendra, 26, and I have been together for 3 years, living together for 1. My brain was doing mental gymnastics, trying to find an innocent explanation. Maybe it's a gift for me, but my birthday was 2 months ago. Christmas is months away. Maybe she's holding it for a friend. But why hide it behind cleaning supplies? I put it back exactly where I found it, and went to the living room where Kendra was scrolling through her phone. Hey babe, found something weird in the bathroom. She didn't even look up. What? A cologne that's not mine. Her head snapped up so fast I thought she'd get whiplash. What cologne? Where? Tom Ford under the sink. Her face went through like 6 different expressions before landing on angry. Why are you going through my things? I was cleaning. It's not exactly hidden in your things when it's in our shared bathroom. God, you're so paranoid. It's probably from before we moved in together. Can you not make everything into some big drama? Then she grabbed her phone and stormed off to the bedroom. 20 minutes later, she posted on Instagram and Facebook, "Real men don't question their queens. If you can't trust your woman, you don't deserve her. Period." Some of y'all need to work on your insecurity instead of projecting. 63 likes in the first hour. Her friends commenting with Queen, and tell them and crown emojis. Cool. So, that's how we're playing this. I sat there thinking the cologne was definitely new. The box still had the Nordstrom sticker with last week's date, and I knew that cologne. My coworker Derek wears it every damn day. Derek, who Kendra definitely doesn't know. Derek, whose girlfriend Ari met at our company picnic. I opened Facebook, found her post, and typed, "Real queens don't need secret kings." Then I tagged Arya. The comment section exploded in 12 minutes. Update 1. Y'all wanted to know what happened next. Buckle up. Within an hour of my comment, Arya had commented, "Wait, what? Secret kings that Derek cared to explain?" Derek tried to play it off. "Baby, you know I only have eyes for you." But Arya wasn't having it. She responded, "Then why is your cologne that you wear every day apparently in someone else's bathroom? And why is Kendra posting about trust right after it's found?" Kendra tried damage control. This is all a misunderstanding. Kyle is just being petty because we had a fight. Then her best friend Tamika jumped in trying to defend her. Kyle always been controlling. Remember when he didn't want you going to that work retreat? That work retreat? The one where she came back with a hickey she claimed was a curling iron burn on her inner thigh. I responded the retreat where she came back with mysterious injuries. That one? The comments kept coming. Arya went full detective mode. She posted screenshots of Derek's Instagram stories from the past month. 3 times he was working late, but the background in his selfies matched Kendra's apartment. Our apartment. One of Kendra's co-workers, Janet, who apparently had been holding this in, commented, "Is this why you've been leaving early every Tuesday and Thursday for dentist appointments? Girl, your teeth must be perfect by now." The post went from 63 likes to 400 plus reactions. People were sharing it. Someone made a meme. Kendra called me screaming. I didn't answer. She texted me 82 times. Everything from, "I'm going to ruin your life," to "Baby please, let's talk to you're really going to believe random people over me." I was at my buddy Trent's house by then. We were eating pizza and watching the comments roll in like it was the Super Bowl. Then Arya dropped the bomb. She commented with screenshots of their doorbell cam footage. Kendra entering their building 4 different times in the last month. Each time when Arya was at work. So this is who you've been mentoring from work. Derek said she was a new intern who needed guidance. She looks pretty guided to me. Kendra deleted the post, but screenshots were already everywhere. Update 2. So Kendra came home the next day with her sister Monique and her mom Gloria. They tried to stage what I can only describe as an intervention for ME. Gloria, Kyle, sweetheart, you've really hurt Kendra with your public accusations. Me, I made one comment with 3 words. You humiliated her. Her boss saw that post. She humiliated herself. I just added punctuation. Kendra was fake crying. No actual tears. I can't believe you throw away 3 years over a misunderstanding. Derek and I are just friends. Friends don't need to hide cologne behind toilet cleaner. Gloria, all men have female friends. You're being incredibly insecure. All Men's Cologne doesn't mysteriously appear in their female friends' bathrooms. Then Kendra made a tactical error. She said, "You know what? Fine. Yes, Derek's been here a few times, but only because Arya is so controlling and jealous. He needed someone to talk to." Monique nodded, like this made perfect sense. Gloria put her hand on my shoulder. "See, just friends needing support." I pulled out my phone and hit play on a voice note Arya had sent me. It was Derek, clearly drunk, leaving her a voicemail. "Baby, I'm sorry. I know I said I was at Jim's, but I was with her again. It doesn't mean anything. She's fun, you know, but you're my future. Please don't leave me." The room went silent. Kendra's face went from fake sad to real panic. "Where did you get that?" "Arya and I have been comparing notes. Turns out you're not his only friend in need. He's got 3 other queens he's been supporting." Gloria stood up. "We're leaving. Kendra, get your things." But here's the thing. It was my apartment. My name on the lease. I had been letting Kendra live here rent-free while she focused on her career, which apparently meant focusing on Derek's career. She can get her things, but she's got 30 days to find a new place. Legal eviction notice will be served tomorrow. Kendra lost it. Started screaming about how I was financially abusing her and how she'd invested in this relationship. Monique threatened to expose me online. "I have 5K followers. Cool. Post away. Make sure to include the part where your sister was sleeping with a taken man in the apartment I pay for." They left, but not before Gloria called me a sorry excuse for a man and said I'd die alone. The next day, Kendra started her campaign. Update 3? Kendra went for the jugular, but she made one crucial mistake. She forgot I have receipts for everything. First, she posted this long thing about how I was emotionally manipulative and isolated her from male friends. She claimed I was jealous and controlling, that I monitored her social media, and that she was finally free from abuse. Her followers ate it up. The post got over 200 shares. People I didn't even know were calling me trash in her comments. But then Arya entered the chat. Ara posted her own story. "Since we're talking about manipulation, let's discuss how you pursued my boyfriend, knowing he was taken. Here's the screenshots of you messaging him first, calling him daddy, and sending pictures I won't even describe. This was before you claimed Kyle was controlling. The screenshots were damning Kendra, literally saying, 'I don't care if you have a girlfriend. I want you.' But Kendra doubled down. She claimed Arya was victim blaming, and that Derek had love-bombed her. Then my ex-roommate Paulo, who still had access to our old security system from when we lived together, sent me something interesting. Footage from our old place showing Kendra bringing different guys home when I was at work. This was from a year ago. I didn't even post it. I sent it directly to her mom, Gloria, with a simple message. Your daughter needs help, not enablers. Gloria called me within an hour. Her tone was completely different. Kyle, I didn't know. There's more Gloria, but I'm not trying to destroy her. I just want her to leave me alone. Gloria must have talked to Kendra because the post stopped, but Kendra wasn't done. She tried to break into the apartment while I was at work. My neighbor, Mrs. Peterson, 68, retired teacher, takes no. Siestikits. Caught her trying to jimmy the lock with a credit card. Mrs. Peterson took photos and called the cops. Kendra told the police she lived there and lost her key. They asked for ID. Her ID still had her mom's address. She got a warning for attempted breaking and entering. Then she made her biggest mistake. She created a fake Instagram account pretending to be me and started messaging my female coworkers inappropriate things. You looked amazing in that dress today, and I've always wanted to tell you how sexy you are. One problem. I work in IT. My coworker Rashida is married to a cybersecurity expert. They traced the IP address in like 20 minutes. It led right back to Kendra's sister's apartment. I filed a police report for harassment and identity theft. My lawyer sent a cease and desist. But the universe wasn't done with Kendra yet. Update 4. Remember those other 3 queens Derek was supporting? Well, they found each other in area, and they created a group chat called Derek's Herm Recovery Squad. One of them, Bethany, was a paralegal. Another Simone worked in HR. The third, Yuki, was a social media manager for a decent-sized company. They did their research. Turns out Derek had been running this game for years. They found 12 women total. 12, but here's where it gets wild. Derek and Kendra had been doing this as a team. They'd identify couples. Derek would go after the girlfriend, while Kendra went after the boyfriend. They had a whole strategy. They called it kingdom building. Yuki found their private Instagram, where they documented their conquests. Photos of them together with captions like king and queen. And building empires one relationship at a time. The account had 47 posts, each one featuring a different couple they'd broken up. Arya sent all of this to Derek's job. He was a pharmaceutical sales rep. Turns out 3 of the women were doctors he worked with professionally. HR was very interested in this information. Derek was fired within a week. Kendra's job found out too. Someone forwarded the Instagram to her company's ethics email. She was a marketing coordinator at a wellness company that promoted authentic relationships and trust. The irony? She was let go for behavior inconsistent with company values. Then came the group lawsuit. Yeah, you read that right. Bethany, the paralegal, convinced 4 of the women to file a civil suit against both Derek and Kendra for intentional infliction of emotional distress. They had evidence of deliberate targeting, planning, and malicious intent. Kendra called me crying. Actually crying this time. Kyle, please. I need help. I don't have money for a lawyer. Should have thought about that before building your kingdom. I loved you. It was just a game with them, but I loved you. No, you loved the free rent and the lifestyle I provided. There's a difference. She tried one more manipulation. I'm pregnant. I laughed. No, you're not. I had a vasectomy 2 years ago. Never told you because I wanted to see if you'd try to baby trap me. Guess I was right. Silence. Then you're cruel. No, I'm smart. Good luck with the lawsuit. Final update, it's been 2 months now. Here's where everyone ended up. Derek lost his job, his apartment. Arya's name was on the lease and his car. It was a company vehicle. Last I heard, he's living with his mom and working at a cell phone store. The lawsuit is ongoing, but his mom had to put her house up as collateral for his legal fees. Kendra had to move back in with Gloria, but Gloria, after seeing all the evidence, implemented strict rules. Kendra has to pay rent, can't bring anyone over, and has to attend therapy twice a week. She's working at a call center and posts motivational quotes about rising from the ashes and queens who rebuild. She gets maybe 12 likes per post now. Monique actually apologized to me, sent a long message about how she always knew Kendra was messy, but didn't realize how deep it went. She's in therapy too. Apparently, Kendra had been manipulating her for years. Arya, she's thriving, started a YouTube channel about recovering from narcissistic relationships. Has 15K subscribers already. She sent me a thank you card with a Starbucks gift card that said, "Thanks for the best comment in social media history." The other women formed an actual support group. They meet monthly. Bethany invited me to speak at one about recognizing manipulation tactics. I declined, but sent a written statement they could share. Me? I'm good. Great. Actually living alone in my apartment that now feels twice as big without all of Kendra's drama. Started dating Lindsay from my boxing gym. She saw the whole saga go down online, and her first words to me were, "That comet was legendary." Want to grab a protein shake? Mrs. Peterson still checks on me weekly, brings me cookies, and calls Kendra, that hoodlum who tried to break in last week. I got a notification that Kendra viewed my LinkedIn profile. Then she viewed it again and again. 17 times in one day. I blocked her there too. Oh, and the Tom Ford cologne. I gave it to my cousin for his birthday. He loves it. Says it makes him feel like a king. I told him, just make sure you're the only king in your queen's life. He didn't get it. Lucky bastard! The funniest part, Kendra's post about real men is still screenshotted and floating around social media as a meme. Someone added the Curb Your Enthusiasm music to a video compilation of the post, and then all the revelations in the comments. It has 2.3 million views on TikTok. Her kingdom didn't just crumble. It got demolished, excavated, and turned into a parking lot. And all it took was 7 words. Real queens don't need secret kings. Edit. Since everyone's asking, yes, I kept the screenshots. My lawyer has everything backed up in triplicate. And no, I don't feel bad. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Edit 2. Derek tried to friend request me on Facebook yesterday. The audacity blocked. Edit 3. Just found out from Paolo that Kendra and Derek are trying to start a relationship coaching business together. They're calling it Authentic Love Academy. I can't make this wow up. Arya's already got her lawyer on it for false advertising. Edit 4. Lindsay says hi and wants everyone to know she keeps her cologne in plain sight like a normal person. We're going to Vegas next month. Don't worry, just for a regular vacation. No surprise weddings or kingdom building, just poker and shows. Peace out, Reddit. Remember, If someone calls themselves a queen or king, unironically, run. Actual royalty doesn't need to announce it.